Welcome, everyone. Happy Pride Month from EXP Pride Network.
I'm Cameron C. Cineros, your co-chair for the Pride Network here at EXP, and I'm super thrilled to introduce to you guys our Fireside Chat here, where we're featuring our Vice President of Brokerage Operations, Holly Mabery, and 2024 National President of the LGBTQ plus Real Estate Alliance, Anita Legacy Blue.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Wilson, co-chair of One EXP Pride Network. Welcome everyone, happy Pride, and no further ado, let's get this thing started. Welcome, ladies.
Yes, welcome. I am so excited to chat with you both today. So I just wanted to kick this off. If you guys can share your story on how you got involved in the community, your journey becoming of who you are as an influencer and thought leader in the real estate space. So Anita, I'm going to pass the mic to you if you don't mind just kind of sharing your journey and story.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Holly. Thank you to the Pride Network for this invitation. I'm always excited to talk with y'all. Y'all been so welcoming since I joined EXP. So thank you so much for this opportunity. So getting started, as a veteran, 35 years, I really didn't have a life as far as being out. Officially. So getting involved in the community just started for me about 5 years ago or so. When I started, became a realtor. I had a good friend of mine. He was involved in the community a little bit, and I said, well, how do I do that? How do I get involved? Because we were looking for LGBTQ plus organizations. How do I market to this, particular market? And that's when they had another organization that was out. And I kind of went with them and became the local president here in Houston for that particular chapter. Of course, that disbanded and the new group took over and just gave me a call and said, hey, would you like to be a part of this? You're already kind of doing it. Can you do it with us? And I just said, oh, yes, I'll move forward. And so I became the president for the LGBTQ plus Real Estate Alliance. It will be in probably the summer of 2020 when they were just getting started with everything in inception. And through that role, had a pretty good chapter and board here in Houston. We were doing some great things, very active. And from that, sometime in leadership, you're either gonna, kind of work your way up. And sometimes people will see how committed you are, that you do show up. And I got tapped, right? And so if you hear that, I got tapped to, kind of look at becoming the vice president for the alliance. And I was really shocked by that. Just to say, hey, out of all the people that are available, you would ask me, and I felt honored, a little shocked and nervous, right? Because this is something new in this arena for me. Being out, being amongst my peers wasn't something I was super used to as a profession. And so I was a little nervous, but through that and through the alliance, seeing, great capability in me and my space as a leader in the military, I've just kept elevating up from being the local president here in Houston to the national vice president to the president-elect and now the 2024 president of the organization in short 4 years. So I'm super excited about that opportunity. And, it's always harder for us to see who we really are sometimes. Other people have to see it in us. And the Alliance has done me that great honor, and I'm surely grateful for it.
Well, we are most definitely grateful for you. So thank you so much for sharing your story and for being here again. Holly, do you mind sharing your story on how you got involved in the community? And passing the mic to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Holly. Actually, I got involved, honestly, in real estate, basically right out of college. And my focus was always to be so good they can't ignore you. And really the focus and everything that I've done is how do I show up? How do I take care of my team and the people I'm around? And that's really where I've been at. And so if you can lead from the heart, if you can lead with integrity and authenticity, people see through. And I've had experiences in the past where people have not always been welcoming. That's okay. I show up and I do my job and continue to hopefully enrich them and their focus, because we all have the same goal. How do we take care of our buyers and sellers? And at the end of the day, how do we build communities stronger? And if we can do that through real estate, nobody can shy away. So I think for me, it's really been about how do I show up? How do I take care of my team and lead in that authenticity? And that's allowed me to get to work here at this amazing company that's been so supportive and inclusive, and continue to just raise my voice so I can raise others.
That's really amazing. Yeah. And I really like you touched on that authenticity. We're going to lean in on that later. I actually had a question for you guys, especially you both have worn many hats in this industry. How do you feel like your leadership style has evolved through your roles in various organizations and through your experiences? And like you said, maybe what are some challenges that you faced, and how is your organizational involvement helping you overcome them?
Wow, that's a mouthful, Cameron.
Yes.
When you start out, myself, just trying to figure out what leadership is, because I just know I was always committed. I was always dedicated, coming from a family, single mother. I was always kind of the leader. I was the oldest of four. And so I always had to do extra things. So for me, just kind of saying, hey, this is something I must do, but how do I do it better? How can I grow? The military gave me a lot of background in that. And then to bring that over into real estate with the structure, the organization that you need to have to be in real estate, the follow-up, being able to speak, of course, too, doesn't hurt. Come forward with what you want to do and trying to get clients. I actually had a mentor call me today. I am getting mentored. We always, as a leader, you should never think you're the smartest person in the room. You should always be looking to grow. And so that's helped me too. Helped me in my leadership style of being able to receive constructive feedback. And I like where I am today, but I'm always looking to grow because I'm all about people and wanting to give that back as well. So I think that's a combination of things for me. Just a military kind of background, kind of was my foundation, and growing through them and what they provided as courses, and then coming into real estate and having to be active and talking and still be out there. I think that's kind of the combination of things for me to evolve into a national leader today. I would sometimes have to pinch myself, but I'm always growing and willing to grow.
Wow, that's pretty neat. I mean, I never did anything with the military, but I mean, they just seem they have so many core values to help out and help anyone to get your foundation set. Actually, Holly, I got a question for you. Just being part of the LGBTQ plus community, can you think of any success stories that have positively affected you, where just because identifying who you are, something great has come out of it, or one of your clients has seen something just because of what you doing identifying LGBTQ plus?
I think that when I look at what we get to do in taking care of people, one of my favorite stories was actually taking care of a client, helping her find her retirement home, and she had just retired from working in the Pentagon.
Oh.
And the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell had just occurred. And the last 6 months of her beautiful career serving, she was able to be herself. And when she and I connected and I was representing her on this purchase, there was a lot of trepidation. And so she and I sat for a long time talking about what it meant to build community now, moving to a completely different state across the country, and what resources she had available to her, how to reach out and make friends. And, she was able to very much share like what that was like through her entire career in that. And so I think that when I look at success stories, our success story is how we champion others to find the connections in their community that we're helping to build for them, because sometimes they're afraid to ask. This past weekend, my wife and I were at Pride in the Pines in our area, and we wore our Free Mom Hugs t-shirts. And it's one of those, we took our son who's 17 and we had a great time. Dr. Jill Biden spoke, which was fantastic. And the opportunity to just embrace different people who needed it was outstanding. So I look at what we get to do as realtors, and what we get to do in connecting people in a place that maybe they're uncomfortable and certain. And then what we get to do as we walk every day, that's what excites me. That's what excites me about building community, because I think it's so much more than, putting people in houses. It's so much more in connecting people, and that's what's important to me.
That's great. Hey, Anita, question for you. For individuals entering our industry that are LGBTQ plus, what would you give them to help keep them positive, and how to basically deal with any challenges that they may face coming into this and being successful, being part of our community?
Well, challenges, we will face them, right? I think it goes back to for us here at the Alliance this month, we're celebrating Pride. So resilience. How resilient are you? What have you been through? I think you have to put forth your effort and know that you need to do some research, right, for yourself, because those challenges or always be learning, always be education, any kind of courses. If you feel like you're weak in an area, definitely you want to take some courses. You want to get a mentor, someone that you can relate to. You have the ability definitely to interview that a mentor, just like, it's a back and forth thing. I think as far as interviewing and finding a great mentor. I actually have one that's great right now. I've had a few, but I think it's very important to have that. You want to just network with professionals, right? You look at your local association, how much you get involved with that, and definitely always be networking. And you want to prepare your whatever kind of what you're looking for. You want to get some kind of structure and foundation for how your day-to-day is going to look like. So some of those challenges that you face, and you have to be kind of learn how to speak or open up your mouth. My mentor actually told me today, Anita, are you asking for the business? Because you out here on all these platforms, you should be having deals coming left and right. What is going on? Are you asking? And I had to be honest, I'm so busy. I haven't even really asked for business. And I just felt like this is the work I'm supposed to be doing right now. So that's a challenge for me, right? You face challenges sometimes, like you have to ask for business. If that's what you want to do, just say, hey, if you hear anybody, see anything, she just gave me a few pointers that I know, but in busy and being working, that's a challenge for me. I just wasn't asking for the business. So y'all, I'm in Houston, Texas. My name is Anita Legacy Blue. And if you have somebody moving this way, please send them my way. I love to help them. If they have any questions, I'm here.
Very nice. I love it.
I love it, love it, love it. Well, I'm a huge fan of if it works and gets results, don't stop doing it. And I feel like both of you ladies, it's very imperative that you guys embrace this when it comes to being involved in trade associations. I'd love to hear on how you guys have experienced being involved in community, national associations, trade associations, local MLS, so on and so forth. How has it helped you in your early days, or Anita, like you put it earlier, and I loved it, elevated you in your real estate career and your leadership development? And then also, how are you still seeing it and growing your business? And this is perfect cue on because Anita, you just literally got the ASK. If you don't ASK, you don't GET. But I'm curious, because it's interesting when it comes to being a part of this. Yeah, it is commitment. Yeah, it is time. Yeah, there has to be passion there. But starting the early days, you get connected with people, you start elevating. How do you guys feel like the contribution to these associations has helped develop that leadership and really that business that you guys have had in real estate?
Holly, I'll let you go.
Well, look, this is the thing. Always be saying yes. And what I mean by that is you are going to get presented with lots of different opportunities. And if you say yes, and you're willing to put yourself in a room that's uncomfortable, or you're not quite sure where you fit, it's amazing how that room changes because of the light that you bring. And that's purposeful intent. You have to show up knowing that you're going to walk in to learn something, to connect with someone, and be the best you possibly can be. And if you walk in with that intent to give and get, great. And so I will say in, working with the realtor organization, it's led me to a lot of different rooms, which I'm really grateful for. I wouldn't be here with EXP had I not been in those rooms. So I've served at the state level. I've served at the national level. I've lobbied members of Congress. I've testified before Congress, and that's all been very impactful because it was like, wow, I've never done that before. Absolutely, I will do that. And so anytime that I found a way to say yes, even though uncomfortable, I go out and get a mentor, I get a coach. Like, what do I need to know so I can be the best when I show up in this room? That's been a game changer. So it's uncomfortable and you have to try.
Nice. I like that.
I love that a lot. Yeah, I'm always seeking, for me personally, it's looking to volunteer or serve associations with my skill set. So for me, I'm the retro MySpace nerd. Sounds weird saying retro. I feel like that should still be trendy, but it's definitely not. But then from that, you take that and then you run with it, So then from that with NAREP, I was the marketing director, right? Because I helped them with graphics. And it really does put you, and Holly, that's a great way to put it. It does put you in rooms that you really couldn't have really gotten into unless if you really served that community. I love it. Anita, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I know I've been what they call it, on tour this month. I've been from the East Coast to the West Coast. speaking on behalf of the Alliance and LGBTQ plus fair housing. And, I can agree wholly with what Holly said, being in those rooms. And I felt so welcome. I want to tell y'all that, there is a loud minority of people who are spewing things against us, but there are a lot of people who really do love us and care about us and want to be a part of the organization. Even from what I went to last week, I've got an invitation to go somewhere else next month. So being in those rooms are important. Being your authentic self is very important. And I know Holly said something earlier about someone just beginning to live their life. I'm in the best time of my life right now. Just being able to be who I am without fear of any retribution from anyone, even if they come with something that's, unprofessional or, has some hate or discrimination in it. I know there's nothing you can take me back to where I was once before of hiding. So I would agree with what she says. Just got to show up and be in those rooms and bring your light, because we all have it.
Wow, it's powerful stuff.
It is. It is.
Super. Yeah. And I mean, so like with the current real estate climate and everything you guys just touched on at the aerial view of leadership that you guys stand right now, how do you leverage your organizations to drive industry-wide change now, starting from the local level to the national level to everything that you guys have partaken in? And maybe what are some of the initiatives that you're passionate about?
Aim small, miss small, right? and so I want you to dream wicked big, aim small, miss small. If you want to impact your community, and we can talk politics. If you want to impact your community, run for school board.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I don't need you to run for president. I want you to run for school board. I want you to go to a city council meeting or a planning and zoning meeting. That's where things impact people the most. But it always becomes dream super big. And so when I look at what's happening nationally in the real estate landscape, it's really easy to get caught up in the daily drop of headlines and, the interest rates and this, that, and the other, and NAR did this or whatever. Right now within EXP and within our community that is within these four walls of our beautiful company, I'm very focused on how do I build our agents' business? What do we need to do to take care of the consumer that's right in front of us? How do we make that transaction so seamless that they wouldn't think of hiring anybody but EXP? And so what does that look like? And so we're focused on forms, we're focused on education, we're focused on outreach and initiatives and follow-up education. Did I mention education? So all of those types of things. So aim small, miss small, but dream incredibly large, because as you go forward, if you really want to make an impact, I think there's a lot of different authors that are talking about this right now, from Gary Vee to, now his name, forgive me, he's bald. Anyway, it's called pebbling, right? It's not about one drop. It's about multiple drops. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about you, pebble, pebble, pebble. I'm going to send you this meme. I texted you. I'm going to do these things. When you create community, it's that constant interaction. Pebble somebody. A big splash is lovely, but that constant reiteration of how we're taking care of someone and how we're changing, that's where it starts. That's what it looks like. So when you look at your business, when you look at your community, when you look at the people you care about most, how are you talking to them? Are you reaching out every day? Are you messaging them? Are you sending, my sister and I, we send memes all the time back and forth and, kind of ridiculous jokes. But I know I'm in her heart every day because we're having that constant interaction. How do you pebble? How do you create that follow-up that somebody wouldn't think of going anywhere else because of who you are top of mind?
I love that. Yeah. So many times we think, we've got to do big. We've got to do it big. We got to get on the big thing, the big stages. And it is those little stages where the impact is really made. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Holly.
Very good.
Absolutely. And so with you guys too, for my own growth, I really relate to a lot of what you said, Holly. And I don't think I would have been here where I am today had I not been fully authentic and unapologetic within my existence. So for you guys, how do you feel authenticity has propelled your growth here in the real estate industry, starting from the beginning of your career to now?
I think a lot for me is just personal growth. In being a young realtor, I've been doing it a while, but I was still active duty military, so I wasn't as active or free to do it like I am today. but I think personal growth and self-awareness, right, of who I am in the industry and what I need to work on. My confidence is a lot stronger in being able to speak to real estate, to speak to what's going on with the LGBTQ plus community and housing, and how we're far less, as far as the national average of 65.9, we're at 49.7. And so we have to work hard to do that. So for me, just that growth of confidence, we always have to take care of our emotional well-being. For me, I'm just really, with the challenges that I face, just really trying to take time for me and my family, my beautiful wife. We have time. I set a time, a date. What are we doing? What are we eating? I want to take you somewhere. I've been traveling a lot, so I definitely come home and try to make plans for her. So, and us to go together. You remember that? Can you go together? But business growth too. So all of that for me has just been, self-awareness, building up my confidence, and making sure that I'm in a good state of mind to continue to get up every morning and be of service to my community and people who are looking to purchase homes. That big purchase, one big person, and I love to be a part of that and helping them go through that whole process.
That's awesome.
I got a question for both of you. As I'm starting to network more in real estate and doing more with EXP and Alliance and things locally on boards, I struggle with how do I do is be professionally responsible, but also support our LGBTQ plus community at the same time, but not come across like overbearing on that. I'm struggling with that now. So I'd love to hear what you guys do when how you guys handle that or the best ways you think I should be able to handle something like that.
I think, Scott, be true to yourself. At the end of the day, when you know who you are, your beliefs are easy to convey. And when you are true to who you are in any being, right? I love what Anita said as far as taking care of her family, her mental state. Like, that's beautiful and that's critical. I think when you show up with service. And if you show up with that intent, everything else becomes a gift. And so it's not a matter of, anything else. Show up with who you are because you're the gift we all needed. Always.
Wow, that's great advice. Thank you, Holly. Jeez.
I'll say quickly though, I think what we're doing right here is showing up for each other is a huge win for us, especially in EXP Pride and other organizations are trying to have what they call ARGs, ERGs, having a safe space to come and, have conversations. I think that's very important. And that's something we've not had for a while in our community. I don't know when the Pride Network started. Did you have a year for me? Like, was it 2020? Around that time?
I want to say 2019, 2020, because I was on the call with Julie Nelson and Ben Love and everybody. So, yeah.
I think in the last 5 years, we can honestly say we've come, we're being seen more, right? We're able to get on platforms. We're able to have, networks and resource groups. So I think that's a big part of it too. And becoming involved in those groups is how you can show up, be a part of the conversations. Is so important, and collaborate with allies. Allies in the Alliance is 23%. I know probably in EXPs is even higher because we cannot do it without support of others. And so we always have to have those conversations and invite people to join us. I think that's something we cannot lose at doing.
I love that. Yeah, for everyone listening in, obviously a majority of our viewers are going to be real estate agents. Anita and Holly both, I'd love to hear your response on this. But, talking about showing up, talking about being a part of the conversation and having a voice. For those who are young in real estate, not necessarily age, but just in their career or maybe they're near the market, what advice would you give to someone who they want to get they want to be involved in those small stages? They want to make that, that local impact, whether it be a board or part of MLS. What advice would you give to somebody to become involved? Like, is there a resource or a place you would suggest for them to start out? Because it can be kind of intimidating. I feel like it comes naturally to me at this point, but for those who are just starting out, or if it's, a new market, they don't know anybody in the area, where would someone start to be involved in the community?
I would definitely say you have to do your research. I think I mentioned that earlier of your area. your market. What do you want to be involved in? You say, hey, I want to be involved. What is your niche? What are you good at? I always like to put people in spaces where, I know they're strong at this. So myself, I feel like I'm a strong speaker. So I would want to be placed somewhere I can speak or be MC. I feel comfortable in that. But somebody might just want to be behind the stage and typing up something or doing notes, a techie. So I say, just find out what your niche is. What do you like? And then go to that particular area or where those things are being held and fit in, because you'll fit in there because it's something natural that you don't have to stretch yourself so far to be. Right. I think that comfortability is a part of how you can move through things and understanding. I know myself, right? And I know I like this particular area or this particular group. I want to be a part of this, especially in associations, right? Or if you have a friend or somebody, you go and listen to people speak. You can see, you resonate with that person. Go introduce yourself some kind of way. I have a friend of a friend, introduce you. So there's all different kind of ways, but you definitely want to network, do your research and gain any relevant experience by being a part of organizations or happy hours, anything the way you can attend that you feel comfortable, you should do that and then be able to talk through it. I think you won't have much trouble. For me, I just always put myself in spaces, even though I didn't feel comfortable early on. I would go to real estate, mixers and just kind of mill around. And every now and again, I'll meet one person, they walk up to me and talk to me. So you don't have to always initiate the conversations either when you show up. Someone might just see something in you and want to bring you in. So we can definitely take that advice and move forward. I wish y'all the best of luck. It is a great career field. Please get involved.
Absolutely. And I love that you said milling. So I'm always like, I'm milling about. So that's so awesome. That's so funny. Yeah, I agree with that too. And, with me, obviously, instinctively, I always want to say, check your local alliance chapter because I'm a member of it. I'm not part of the board. However, I'll be walking with them at the Pride Parade at the end of the month. So it's volunteering too is another great way to get involved. Holly, do you have anything to add to that conversation?
Yeah, follow your passion. Like, I think if you can follow your passion, like Anita said, it puts you in a place for success. Follow your passion, do what is true to here, and then everything else kind of unfolds. It's amazing, but always show up with your passion.
That's truly inspiring, you guys. And so looking ahead, what are some aspirations for the future of our real estate industry in terms of diversity and community involvement?
Well, aim small, miss small, but dream big. So when you start to look at the future of our community, I think there's a couple of different things. One, you talk about inclusivity and our ability to be seen and things like that. I think it becomes really important that we recognize it and champion others. If we can't champion others, there's no way we can champion ourselves. And so how are you lifting others up? Are you being a voice for the people who need it the most? And again, start small in your community. Who are the people around you that you need to take with you? So when you start to see the influence of where real estate is going, organized real estate, people need someone they can trust. So how are you showcasing that? And that is very relational. It's very personal. And those are the biggest impacts we're going to make right now. If you are reaching out to consumers and you are that resource, you're that community and trusted advisor, that's a way to start to change the tide of visibility, what makes a difference, how people can connect. And that's what I would champion you to do is how do you take care of the people that are in your nucleus and just start building out from there.
I love it. I love it, Holly. A big part of it too, we have to be collaborative, right? Because I've just kind of mentioned people outside of us really can help us and they want to be there for us, but they need to know our cause, and I love that we at the Alliance were able to do that so quickly and grow from zero. Our anniversary is actually 4 years old next week. Or this weekend, the 23rd of June. So everything is kind of happening with Pride. June the 23rd is our anniversary. And with those collaborations and partnership, we've gone from zero to almost a little over 4,000 members. And so I think that's a big part of what we've been able to do. People want to be involved. And so be open to that collaboration and having conversations. I know we love to meet people for coffee. Let's talk about coffee and do that. Because I think that one or two connections might be the connection that can change your life or change an organization's life or help you get to that next level you're looking for.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you guys been doing this for a while. So it's Pride Month. I'd love you guys to share maybe one of your favorite Pride events or something this year, or maybe one you had in the past that you remember for a while. Each of you give a shot at this, because every time I ask people this, whatever they remember or think was their favorite, something just it's so out there, like, wow, that would have been so much fun. So share some of your stories.
Well, I am looking forward to this Pride. Here in Houston, we have a big weekend. They've been kind of celebrating our month. I've been to several things. I'm active with the chamber here in Houston. They've had a Pride in Business, which was phenomenal. Over 700 people showed up for this event with them. I didn't make it. I made it to the after party. Okay. Anyway, but it was a huge event. From last year to this year, it was 400, a little 400 people. This year was almost 700. So they're looking to do 1,000. So that's exciting for Houston and the Pride in Business. For us as business professionals, LGBTQ, to get together and have a actual award show is actually awards that they give out. And so that was very exciting. I went to it last year, but just hearing about it and thinking about that excites me, that I never thought I would see where all of us, would have something like this in my lifetime. And so that's one of the biggest things, the Pride in Business here in Houston, and actually the celebration, which was to be on the 29th, our parade, out and about, all kinds of things. So I'm really excited. Me and my wife get to go out. Sometimes she can't make it. A couple of years I had to go alone, but this year she'll be with me. And so I'm excited. We have our Pride shirt from the Alliance. Go shop at realestatealliance.org, and you can get you some Pride gear if you haven't gotten it already. But I'm excited about what's happening coming up at the end of this month with Pride here in Houston.
I think a lot of my memories run together. This year definitely was a standout. Getting to see the First Lady and be 30 feet from her was shocking, and the message that she delivered. I think the opportunity to celebrate but understand our origins and the ability to stand up and say this is who I am is a beautiful thing. And it's sacred and it's got to be protected. And so that opportunity to uniquely always be yourself. So I'm going to point to this year just because I just experienced it this weekend. So it's top of mind.
Amazing. I love it.
I love it too. I think mine's going to be Scissortail. Cameron, you know where that's at here in Oklahoma City. It is just literally a big park, and it's just a big celebration. And last year there was like big circles, and people were like, I don't say dance offs, but it was definitely like some dance skills showing off, and it's just always a good time. And then Holly, like you said, it's just where people can be themselves, and no one's judged, no one's judging. Like, it's just fun. So I think that's one of my favorites. And then of course, EXP Pride. It was fun this month.
Yeah, our museum is amazing. That's something. I mean, that's just
snaps to Cody for that for sure.
Yes. And Anita, you did amazing at the Pride Parade too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great turnout. I was so excited for that. Yes, it was our first ever in frame too that we've ever had.
Amazing.
Yes.
We're trailblazers, aren't we?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, before we let you all have your evening back or your day back, wherever you are in the world right now in this moment in time, do you guys have any last thoughts, or we can wrap this up with one word close? And then I just want to say thank you guys so much again for being with us today. But Anita, what is your one word close, if you will?
Resilience.
What you got, Holly?
Service.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. We really appreciate your insights, your inspirations. You guys actually personally really inspire me, Holly, Scotty. Like, we're big fans of you guys. So thank you so much for coming on here, sharing your value. This is just invaluable rooms. Like you said, Holly, stretching out, reaching out, being authentic, unapologetic in your existence, and being fanatical about believing that you are deserving of those things. Like 2 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be here talking to any of you guys, having these high-level conversations. So to hear you at the level that you're at, saying things that I'm telling myself now is like, it really hits home for me. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Happy Pride. Thank you so much.
Pride.
Bye.